Okay, it was raining, but it stopped. Although it's still cloudy, you can see some mist hanging around still, actually. And with that in mind, what did I read today? How about this first one? Is it going to be a drone company taking off in the US with all those geopolitical stuff about Chinese-made drones too? Although this one, there might be a conflict of interest anyways with how they're making this sound. This one says, Trump Jr.-backed drone firm lands Pentagon's biggest contract set to supply thousands of drone parts. That's probably even more profitable too, if they're just supplying the parts for the drones to be made in general. It says a drone company backed by Donald Trump Jr. has landed its biggest Pentagon deal yet. Unusual Machines, a very little-known Florida-based drone company, will supply 3,500 drone motors and other components to the Army as the latter expands its drone capabilities. Donald Trump Jr. joined the company as an advisor in 2024. According to a report in Financial Times, Trump Jr. holds a $4 million stake in the company. He had a total of 331,580 shares of the company. It had declared when Trump Jr. joined the organization. The Army has signaled that it would also purchase an additional 20,000 parts from Unusual Machines next year. Alan Evans, the company's CEO, said he believes this is Unusual Machines' largest ever order from the US government. When asked if Donald Trump Jr. helped the company with the deal, Alan Evans said that he did not. I guess to double down on that, it says Trump Jr.'s spokesperson told FT Don has never communicated with anyone in the administration on behalf of Unusual Machines or about the contract in question. His advisory role with them has nothing to do with interfacing with the government. That's one of those things too. It could be true technically, but I wouldn't doubt it has some kind of influence anyways. Where if a company sees this guy's associated with that guy, then a lot of times they would want to get in on a deal just to have that association, I guess you could say. I mean, it happens a lot in the business world in general. But it makes me wonder if they will actually expand that into, let's just say, all drones in general, for example, even like recreational ones or even ones used for commercial purposes, like more lower end ones. Because if that is the case, then I guess they're trying to be less dependent on other countries too, in terms of drones in general. And in terms of, I guess, military drones, how about this one? In terms of Ukraine getting something called like a drone OCTOPUS, you can see it says here in the statement that was posted by Volodymyr Zelensky, it says, I thank Keir Starmer and the people of the United Kingdom for their steadfast support of our country in our fight against Russian aggression. Today, I discussed with the Prime Minister the development of defense cooperation and ways to increase pressure on Russia. I presented the Ukrainian interceptor drone, OCTOPUS, which the United Kingdom will produce for further testing in Ukraine. The agreement provides the production of the first batch. Strengthening sanctions policy must push Russia toward real negotiations.
Last time we decided of co-production, drones interceptors. Yeah. This is one of them.
So we wanted to get through, so your speaker came a week ago when...
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I personally never seen any of those, let's just say, cylinder-shaped drones flying around here. For example, they look like a can. For the most part, it's mostly quadcopters and stuff you see around here anyways. And this piece of news was going around everywhere today, where it dealt with the FBI in the US going after people having some sort of illegal gambling ring of sort when it comes to the NBA, where, to make it worse, the allegation is they apparently, I guess, have proof where there are some players that purposely sabotage, for example, the game because people are betting, let's just say, for or against them, so they have to try to sway it so that people can get their money. That's crazy, huh? So apparently the FBI arrested over 40 people, including Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups. And it was a multi-state operation targeting Mafia-linked schemes when it comes to, for example, sports betting, manipulation, wire fraud, and as well, they talked about things like rigged poker games. But in general, this is the bigger topic here in terms of people in the NBA actually being involved with stuff like this. I guess it's not too surprising, but still, you're always still surprised when people actually do it. So one of the accusations here is the player Terry Rozier in a March 23rd, 2023 game where it was the Charlotte Hornets versus the New Orleans Pelicans, which is his team. He apparently claimed he had, I guess, a quote, foot injury, and so he exited the game early, despite the fact, for the most part, in a lot of games, he averaged about 35 plus minutes and 21 points in the season. So you can imagine that's kind of odd. And the accusation is somebody bet over $200,000 that Rozier would perform in terms of his stats. And so I guess in the game, he only played 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So can you imagine that if that's actually true, where he faked it and the guy, whoever made this bet and so forth, got so much money, maybe he got a payoff as well? Because of this, everyone's going into detective mode where they're looking at all past NBA games, for example, where there are bad referee calls and all that, where they're saying, hey, was this actually intentional? Because of this, for example, people trying to sabotage games so people could get money from bets and so forth. And this was a piece of news here that was making people angry locally. If you remember just a while back, they had that Vancouver Chinatown Festival where somebody actually stabbed a bunch of people. Now, fortunately, it seemed like the police were able to apprehend the person pretty quickly afterwards, but the person went through the court system and guess what? They're not going to be held criminally responsible. Surprise, surprise. That seems like a constant theme here, huh? Like it says here, Vancouver Chinatown stabbing attacker found not criminally responsible. A BC Supreme Court justice has found a 66-year-old man not criminally responsible for an attack at a Vancouver Chinatown Festival 2 years ago. Blair Evan Donnelly stabbed and injured 3 people at the Light Up Chinatown Festival in September 2023 while on unescorted leave from a forensic psychiatric hospital. Donnelly, who is diagnosed with schizophrenia, has told the court he was, quote, told by God to carry out the attacks. His legal team argued he was incapable of making morally grounded, rational decisions due to a mental disorder. The Crown prosecutor argued that Donnelly was well enough to know what he was doing, noting testimony from Donnelly that he was hoping for another message from God not to carry out the violence, meaning he understood what he was doing was wrong. Can you believe this? I mean, look at this guy's history too. With this, you could argue, okay, he has a mental disorder, but still, the system is broken in my opinion. If people like this are able to continuously be able to go out and stab people like that. Like in 2006, it says he murders his 16-year-old daughter, stabbed her in delusions. In 2017, he attacked another patient with a butter knife. And what? Pre-2023, it says despite being called a significant threat, he got unescorted leave up to 28 days leading to the festival attack. So it led up to this afterwards. Wow, that's one broken system in my opinion. I don't see how people could say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't think that law is being used as intended. I mean, that's crazy, huh? It's like the criminals have more rights than the victims, actually. right, see you guys later.